All right, so we need to talk about this brilliant piece of music right here. Enter the 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang Clan. Y'all gotta understand, there was nothing like this ever before. Like a 9-person group. They're technically 10 now because they allowed Capadonna into the Wu-Tang Clan, but initially 9 members. They were the first like mega super duper group, and this whole album is just, them going off, and they are from the forgotten borough of New York City, Shaolin Island, aka Staten Island. And that's real important, but they call it Shaolin. The album is produced entirely by the RZA, okay? Y'all gotta know who the RZA is, please. But really, let's talk about Low Fidelity. This album came out in 1993. Actually, it came out, it's kind of crazy. I bought this tape the same day that I bought the tape for A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders. They both came out on November 9th, 1993. Okay, I bought those 2 albums on the same day. Completely disparate, completely different vibe and sound. And it was kind of interesting because that Wu-Tang sound started to take over as that Tribe Called Quest vibe and sound like you hear on Midnight Marauders kind of dipped off. But this is Low Fidelity. I mean, if you ever hear any of the acapellas from this record, I mean, it's like they recorded on a pair of headphones. I mean, it's so damn bad, but who cares? So it's super gritty, it's super crunchy, super lo-fi aesthetics on it. Obviously, there's lots of comic book references throughout. I mean, it's no secret that, these dudes a lot of them are pretty much nerds. And so there's a lot of superhero comic book references, a ton of samples from Kung Fu movies. So they're big into the Kung Fu movie vibe. And one of the main things that the RZA did is his instrument that he used a lot was the ASR-10. It's like a keyboard sampler, so there's no pads. You sample and you use keys on a keyboard instead. That was his instrument, but he's really notable for beat mining Southern soul music. So he was mining the Volt and Stax and High Records, so Al Green vibes, Willie Mitchell vibes, that Memphis soul sound. No one had really mined that for sample fodder, but he went and unearthed a bunch of that stuff, and so he had this whole different sort of sound. So it was part the tools he was using, and then his sample material, But this album's so important because this record, it was the beginning of this renaissance of New York City rap, right? This is right around the time when Doggy Style was out and just hitting super hard. And then at the end of 93, Wu-Tang, Enter the 36 Chambers drops, right? And then after that, it's just a deluge of classic boom bap, East Coast rap records that come out, and many of them I won't even talk about, Nas, Illmatic, or whatever. Just an epic period. It was this record that was boom. It just really set things off, and really pushed the East Coast back to the top in so many ways. And I'm talking on a mainstream level, what you would hear on the radio, what Funkmaster Flex would play on his radio show, what you would hear out, at hip hop parties and bars and clubs and stuff. Okay. But I mean, this album, like lyrically, I mean, it's just crazy. Cause I mean, look, yo, I know personally from a little bit of experience, these dudes are wild. They're some wild dudes. They're cool, some pretty cool dudes too. But really kind of, they got some ideas, let's just say. But you know, a lot of these lyrics are very violent, very like hardcore rap type stuff. I sew your asshole tight and keep feeding you and feeding, you know, like just shit like that. You're like, whoa, you know, there's all sorts of crazy shit. A lot of like battle raps, but they're funny. They're like not too serious about it. They're like more jestful about it. And it's like a raw street rap sound and a ton of like nerd rap references. I always kind of say like Wu-Tang is kind of like nerd rap. You know, not a lot of people may agree with that, but it's kind of like nerdy shit they're talking about. Okay. So the joint we're gonna watch the music video for is C.R.E.A.M, with the classic Method Man hook.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen gets the money. Dollar bill, yo.
I mean, it's just like a fucking classic hook there, but it's basically two verses on this record. And the two verses, verse one is Raekwon, the chef, and then one of my favorite Wu-Tang members that a lot of people don't talk about much when they talk about the Wu is Inspector Deck. And then you obviously have Meth who sings the hook. Now, C.R.E.A.M is the second, I believe the second single to come off the record. The first was Protect Your Neck, which actually came out earlier in 92, and then they got signed to Loud Records, which is the record label that Enter the 36 came out on, and it was pretty dope. The RZA actually, you know, set it up so all of the members of the Wu-Tang could sign record deals with whoever they wanted. So typically it would have been like you sign Wu-Tang to Loud, and everybody had to drop records on Loud, you know, and they set it up so they could, all the members could reach out and sign their own deals. But the sample on this is crazy. This is the C.R.E.A.M's. It's from '67. It's As Long As I've Got You. I'm still looking for a 45 copy of this. So if anybody out there, you know, got one for sale, hit me up. And so let's just check that sample real quick. And I'm gonna have a little Kofevi. So, I mean, the song is straight up, if you remember the movie Planet Rock, it's all about the hustler's tale and coming up and getting out of the hood, and how, you know, there's stories of coming up and survival. And that's really what it is, you know, and the whole album is kind of defined a lot by that. Like, we also listen to Can It Be Also Simple, which also has like a similar type of story and vibe to it in general. But, yo, this chorus, this Method Man chorus here has been sampled and cut up and used a ton. I've used it. I mean, it's probably been abused, you know. Dollar bill, y'all. You know, I mean, that part has been just used a billion times for hooks and scratches and stuff like that. But watch the music video to this. I mean, again, you gotta picture, you know, 13-year-old Andre watching UMTV Raps at his parents' house, and this fucking music video comes on, and my mind was like a little bit blown. So we'll check out the music video, watch it, you know, and then we'll talk a little bit about the lyrics and think about them as they relate to Kimber McLeod's, you know, semantic dimensions of authenticity.